everyone. It's your good friend Wendy, and you're listening to the Reaching Out with Reach podcast. This is the show that brings you discussions and topics surrounding our community, prevention, and recovery. On today's episode, we have our very own Gracie Gray with a message about burnout. Take it away, Gracie.
Hey everyone, it's Gracie with Reach Across Johnson County here. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So ever since 1949, May has been observed as Mental Health Awareness Month in the United States. So this is just a time where we can bring awareness to mental health and talk about good coping skills and how to manage your anxiety and all of that kind of stuff. So I do want to plug in. We are going to have our third annual Rise Mental Health and Wellness Conference. Our theme this year is Rise Together Through the Power of Community. This will be held Saturday, September 14th, 2024 at Pathway Church in Burleson. More information will come out soon about that. So be checking our websites, your emails, all of that. So today I'm going to be talking about burnout. So let's start with what exactly is burnout. Burnout is a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion. So burnout occurs when your body and your mind can't keep up with the task that you demand of them every single day. So they did a study in 2023 across all of America, and they found that 89% of Americans have experienced symptoms of burnout in the past year. And 89% is crazy. That's a lot of people that have these symptoms. And so symptoms of burnout can look like physical fatigue, which is insomnia, loss of appetite, an increased chance of sickness, and other items like that. Emotional exhaustion can also be a part of burnout. And that can look like a lack of interest and motivation in things that you would normally be interested in, an increased level of stress, not being able to control your mood, things like that. It can also look like cognitive fatigue. And so this means you have increased mistakes either at work or at school, an inability to focus, and it just kind of feels like your head is very cloudy and fuzzy and you're not able to think straight. So all of these can lead to a lack of effort, which means that your work performance is going to go down. A lot of times burnout, people who experience burnout experience it either because of their job or they've got a lot of stuff going on at home, or maybe they're a student and they're also in sports. It can happen to anybody. So some of the main causes of burnout is a heavy workload. So if you are always working over 40 hours a week, or if you're always, as soon as you get out of school, you go do practice, you go do family stuff, you never have any time for yourself, you've got too much going on. There's also a lack of control. So feeling like you're not in control of the things that you have to do, that you've got no say-so and you just have to do it. That can lead to burnout. Not getting any recognition for the things that you complete and complete well, or just not getting any recognition at all can lead to burnout. Poor relationships. So if you don't have any strong and loving relationships, either at work with your coworkers or at school with other students, or even just outside of all of that, having poor relationships and no support can definitely lead to feelings of burnout. Also, unfairness and mismatched values are some of the main causes of burnout. So there is a quote by Janine Joy that I like. It is, "Burnout is a war that must be won on both fronts." So this kind of means that, when you are experiencing burnout at your job and you're experiencing all these symptoms when you are trying to complete tasks at work, and it doesn't just mean that you need to practice more self-care and everything will be okay. There's also something that your company needs to be doing to help, reduce the chances of their workers having burnout. And so the first thing is to check in with your employees or your coworkers if you're not, a supervisor role. So keeping an open line of communication. If you notice a behavior change, it's important to ask why this change might be happening. If you have a coworker or an employee that is always on time, they always get their work done on time, and then all of a sudden they're always running late, they're not completing their assignments, then that's a huge behavior change, and you should ask them why, if something's going on, or maybe if they need more support to complete their assignments on time. It's also important that you do practice regular self-care and find out what works best for you. So some people like to run for self-care. Some people like to do art, like to go get a massage. Whatever it is, find what works for you, because if it is stressful for you to run, then doing exercise for self-care isn't going to help reduce your stress. So it's just important that you prioritize rest, nutrition, and taking time to relax in your own way. And then also maintaining an appropriate work-life balance. So this is a lot easier said than done, but it's important that you practice time management during the workday so that you can allow for personal time. You don't want to be working 10 and 12-hour days and then come home and you don't have much time to do anything really but get ready for the next day. That doesn't give you any time to practice that self-care or to, unwind from the day that you have had. So just remember these tips, and if you are feeling symptoms of burnout, find someone that you can talk to that supports you, and they can help you through it.
Thanks for the information, Gracie. Just another reason why self-care is important. Well, that about wraps up our episode. As always, if you're wondering how you can help, you can join our coalition meetings. You can also support our youth and family programs with a tax-deductible donation or food gift cards. And if you have any questions, you can email us at info@reachcouncil.org. That's info@reachcouncil.org. Or you can follow us at Reach Council on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for listening to our show. Stay tuned for ongoing monthly podcasts from our Reach teams on all things prevention and recovery. So remember, life is full of choices, so choose happy and choose healthy. Bye.